Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to episode 25 of The Homefront. We will give everyone a few minutes to jump on. We have a special guest this evening. I will give everyone just a few minutes, actually just a few seconds. I'm really not that patient.
Yeah, me neither. I usually just start right away.
Yeah. Well, I want to introduce my special guest this evening, Realtor and investor PJ Wilkins from Arizona. Welcome, welcome, welcome to episode 25. I'm super excited to have you on.
Yeah, excited to be here.
Real quick, anyone watching, be sure to comment so we know that you're watching. We can shout you out. Hit that like button, love button, or tag a friend that you feel may benefit from watching. Don't be selfish with the information we're about to share. PJ is a very experienced investor, and he's going to be able to answer questions if you guys have any. So, PJ, tell us about yourself.
Hello, my name is PJ Wilkins. I live out here in Tucson, Arizona, the Wild West. We're enjoying crazy temperatures. It's starting to get hot, which we don't like a whole lot, but you know, it is what it is. I kind of, I've been doing real estate well, let me back up. I was an investor first, kind of got into real estate through a construction business that I had. And, just knew the trades and just kind of knew everything. And I just it was an easy segue, I guess, to real estate and particularly flipping homes. And so we did a bunch of that, and then our construction company kind of went bankrupt in 2008. So, we had the pleasures of dealing with that, and that kind of sent me into a weird little spiral of like, what the heck am I going to do? And so I said, well, what do I know? Real estate and construction. And so pretty much just started, finding deals and fixing them and, just kind of flipping homes. And to date, we've done a little over 70 properties. We'll be, well over 100 by the end of the year. So I'm pretty pumped about that. Yeah, it's been a wild ride.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
I want to know how you found your deals. How did you start finding them when you first got started?
So to back up even further, I've always been an entrepreneur. Haven't had any real jobs in my adult life. So I've just kind of always been a mover and a shaker. And when I was a personal trainer, my first business, I would drive around the streets of Tucson and just look at houses and just call realtors and ask dumb questions and forget to ask questions. You know what I mean? Just, forget to ask how many square feet or how many bedrooms or, I just literally learned a lot of the lingo by screwing up. And then once I decided that real estate was pretty cool, I had a client that kind of introduced me into it. And so from that method of driving around the streets, I started noticing a lot of vacant properties. And so I would write those vacant properties down and, do whatever research that I could. I'm not doing that now, but, we would send them letters. We would knock on the door, whatever we could. And we'd never really found many properties. So then we tried the traditional route of looking for realtors and trying to get help. And, that didn't really go very far. So I really hunkered down and said, I need to figure out how to basically generate my own leads. And, so that's one of the things we do now that's kind of kept us really busy.
Okay, well, let me ask you then to step into the next part. How did you start finding your own leads?
So again, just driving the streets and then just like literally calling people and whatever we could to find them. And then, we do our own research, find out the comps, what the, stuff is selling for, really try to get inside the property to find out what was needed to fix it. Now we pretty much got that down. It's just little stories like that, I guess, just kind of how we, got into and finding our own deals. And then, there's just so many ways, I believe, to find deals. It's just hunkering down and getting really focused on one or two areas and then just pounding those until you squeak out a deal.
Yeah, and I mean, I just started myself. We've been looking for deals, and it's been hard. And you and I have talked about, certain ways to do it. But so you think that focusing just on one area in particular is how to do it? Like really just go at that area?
Not necessarily one area, but one method.
Okay.
So like we were talking the other day, I use Inquizo,
Mm-hmm.
that's the search engine that I use to find vacant properties. And so, I literally have a list of, 400 or 500 vacant homes around the Tucson area. And so I'm currently building a team, and, we make calls to those people, just do whatever we can to find them. It's a lot easier to get deals today using Inquizo than it was like using snail mail and stuff like that. So it's, the Inquizo has been really, really good for us. But as far as areas, I literally do a circle around Tucson every day. I probably put 800 miles on my car a week.
Wow.
Touching all of our different deals. We don't really focus on any one area. We just get them where we can get them.
Yeah, you have probably so many contacts now, and people know you. Real quick, we do have one question. Wesley's asking, did you use contracts at banks for foreclosures? Or contacts, I'm sorry. He said, did you use contacts at banks for foreclosures?
I don't know how it is around the country, but at least here it's well, first of all, I don't like MLS deals. I think that, it's just oversaturated. People, I think one of the last offers we made on MLS, there were 45 offers. There was 28 on a deal after that. Just insane numbers. So the thing with the banks and contacts there, banks want all of their stuff to go on the market first to get fair market value. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't really create too much of an opportunity as far as working with people at the bank, because they have to, put it on the market, and they use their realtors. I don't even know how they find them. And then they go through the whole BPO process and evaluating the property and blah, 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 blah. And it just hasn't been an area that I felt was worth my time.
Yeah. And not to mention,
I'd be curious to know, I don't know.
Yeah, if anybody does that, I would like to know. I know that obviously there are people who use the MLS quite frequently, but as far as I'm thinking, that they probably have, their own large sums, because the deals in the MLS are a little bit tighter as far as profit wise, and it makes it a lot harder. If you're using hard money, you can't really use that method because it's a lot more expensive to go that route.
Yeah, it is totally. So yeah, I haven't done much of that, but I would. I would. But what we got going now is working pretty well. So we'll see what the future holds.
How big is your team right now?
I have 2 other realtors that I work with. Mm-hmm. And, my girlfriend Sarah, she does all of our design work and stuff like that. She's on the team. So there's, let's say, 3.5 of us.
Okay.
And then this is be really good for you too, Krista. One of the things that I do, and that's helped a lot, is because doing things like Facebook Live and really going hard on social media, people kind of know me as the guy that does flips, and in my little circle. And so now other realtors bring me deals. It's just really kind of morphed into this really cool process where deals are starting to come to me now. I'm not even really hunting them down like I wish I had the time to do. But nonetheless, as long as you're staying busy, right?
Yeah, exactly. But it's just like with anything, being consistent and keeping it moving is really how you get it going. How many years would you say that it really took you to get it going, where people are starting to come to you?
Not even a year. I've only been a realtor just a year, just 1 year.
It's funny, we met on Snapchat, and now we're on Instagram and Facebook, and I like watching everything you're doing, because the ideas that you have, the houses you do look beautiful.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we run into some doozies.
Oh, I know. I've seen like that one house. I think you said it was like a drug house or something.
Yeah. We had plenty of those. Right now, I just found out this afternoon, one of our flips has bees in it. We had to shut the project down for a week because we had to move some guys to another project, and bees, man, unbelievable. There's 2 hives of bees. I mean, it's just real estate, anything can happen.
I know.
What I'm finding is as I'm scaling up and doing more and more deals, it's like more and more problems. I had a roof blow off last week.
I saw that picture.
Gee whiz.
That was some serious wind for just to blow off.
It was, that was down in Sierra Vista. It's about an hour and a half south from where I live now, and they get crazy winds down there. I was seriously thinking about becoming a Walmart greeter after the week of my last week.
Funny.
Not for me.
That's really funny.
Oh, but I'm sure you have your stories too.
Oh yeah, I mean, not so much with the flip side, but with as far as real estate goes, my philosophy is it's never closed until it's closed, because anything can happen. It's like there's that meme of like the ship that's going up and down and up and down. Like, that is so true, because real estate is never, you're having one moment where you're like, oh, everything is bliss, we're under contract. And then the next moment, boom, you fell out of contract.
Or your house doesn't appraise. I don't know, are you seeing much of that where you're at?
Well, I've had it a couple of times, and the one time the seller came down on the price. The second time they said, let's split the cost of it. It was like I think it was $10,000 difference. So they really wanted the house, and they split the cost. And then they caveated with, we have a backup contract.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
So they were up against the wall. They were like, really? I think that's really crappy. But I mean, it is what it is.
How is it with fighting appraisers out there where you are? Is it worth it, or?
I really haven't had to do it myself on my side thus far, but we talk to them, let them know where we run the comps from. If we think we might run into a problem, but I try when I'm making suggestions, I try to get them to understand we should price where the other ones are, so we don't have that many problems.
Yeah. Well, when you start getting into flipping, like I know you want to do, you'll have, when you're the seller,
yeah,
you run into that more and more. I ran into it twice last week. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah, it's just crazy. It really kind of pisses me off. I won't get into that rant right now, but I just, if, market price is what a willing and able buyer can pay for the house, right? They're coming in and saying, no, you can't pay that much for the house. It's just kind of.
Yeah, that is kind of stupid. But it's not like you're talking like $50,000 more. You're probably talking, something reasonably close to where you were priced.
Well, so remember, when you're in the flip world, anything can happen up to that sales price. So, I mean, you could have overspent.
Yeah, that's true.
Could have fell down. This house in particular, I'm speaking of, the appraiser, we had it under contract at 133. The appraisal came back at 126. And, we had just spent $4,000 putting a new roof on the place as part of the Benzer, and, just really kind of taking care of this. So now profits like here, and then they go, we need another 7.
Yeah.
So it gets really, it gets really tough. If there was 50 grand of profit sitting there, a different story. But if you're, right there, or it just makes it's very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah. And you do.
I don't know why.
Do you do most of the work yourself?
So I started out doing that, and that's one of the things that really helped me scale up quickly, was realizing that I needed to stop doing the work. So up until probably, last November, I was still, doing some work on my houses, because we'd have 1 or, 2 maybe, and just to save money, whatever it was, I would go in there and do some of the work, because I do have a construction background. But I learned that jobs were taking longer and costing more with me on them.
Yeah.
I thought it was the opposite. So I took
only
myself.
one of you.
What's that?
So there's only one of you.
Yeah, there's only one of me. Well, I had a couple guys that worked with me too, and so once I realized very quickly that in order to scale up, I had to hire crews and things like that. So we spent some time finding crews, and now I have 3 crews of guys that I can call that can take the house from start to finish, and I can spend my time in front of a computer and finding more deals.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So you can do multiple deals then at once.
Yeah, we had 7 going recently.
Oh, that's good. That's
really finished. So 7 is the most we had going, and we're getting ready to, ramp up for another big round of more.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on your level.
Well, trust me, I didn't. It was hard, and out of desperation. But you can. I mean, it's really like just focusing in. If you're a realtor now and you're making a living, like you can do this.
Yeah.
Flipping homes and stuff like that. You just got to make sure you connect with the right people and screwed a couple times. You know what I mean? But you learn from it and try again. One thing I will say to everyone watching is, the only 2 variables you can control on a flip are the buy and your fix. Yep. And I never, ever, I don't care how bad I want a deal or like the house or whatever, I never overpay for a property because the sales price is a mystery.
Right, exactly. You don't know until you get a contract on it. And
even if you do get a contract, the appraisal could come in low. And so I never buy, wrong or too high. And then the other one is your fix-up cost. A lot of people get really romantic about the tile. And they want to put in everything.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, I do too. I really enjoy seeing it's probably the remodeler in me that does that, but you really got to watch costs because they creep up really, really fast. And then you're at the end of your deal and you didn't make any money, and you're like, well, why not? Well,
it was fun doing the work.
Yeah, you're not going to make any money doing that, having fun.
Right.
It should be fun doing it, but there should be profit at the end of it.
Well, my next question for you is I've heard the 70% rule. How do you use that, or do you go with another formula?
Yeah, I don't use that because I don't really know why I don't use that. I just I've heard it. I know exactly what it is, but I just feel like sometimes that doesn't show you the deal correctly.
No, it doesn't.
Depending on, and then that's also based on your sales price too, which, could fluctuate. So the way I do deals is very simple. Say it's $100,000 deal. I times it by 0.91, 9%, 3% buyer, 3% seller, 3% concessions. Usually gets me pretty close. Okay. And, then I back out my fixed cost. And then, from there I go, all right, based on these numbers, how much money, should there be at the end of the deal? If someone's putting up $100,000 to $150,000, $15,000 to $20,000 at the end of the deal isn't a bad number. But if they're spending $250,000, $300,000, most people want to see, closer to $30,000, $40,000 profit because they're out that much money. And so, I take that number and subtract it, and then I come up with my potential buy price. And then I usually go a couple, 10, 20 underneath that, depending on the condition or the situation. Sellers are getting a little more, there's just more competition. So it's harder to go in and get your rock bottom number because this guy is giving a number and this guy's giving a number. So what's happening now is I'm usually having to come up to right at where I'm comfortable just to even get deals.
See, and we had that happen when we were before we got this one, there was a guy, I went and I got the tax records, the tax sales, And I contacted him, and the guy called me back, and he said, then he started pitting me against the other investor and who would go higher. And he was like, well, he said he'll do this right now, and he'll pay my hospital bills. I was like, are you kidding me?
Hospital bills.
Yeah, he was trying to get that in there too. The roof literally had a hole in it. There was a flood in the basement, and they had like crap all over the house.
Did you get it, or?
No, we didn't. We passed on that one because the other guy was going to pay his hospital bills, and that was like a complete rebuild. That one was too dangerous, so we couldn't. Yeah.
Be careful on those too on your first one. Yeah, I work with investors too, so part of our business is, I do some flips because you only have so much money to do flips. And so we're constantly looking for new money sources. But I work with about 3 or 4 investors who have their own money and do their own work. Okay. And so the reason I do that is because they're able to do some deals that I can't do. Because, I hire it out and pay a little bit of interest on my money and stuff like that. So it's more suited for them. So in those cases, I give them the deal, and they have to promise to list with us. And so, I got one investor that I'm working with right now. I just got him his 3rd home this year. So he's, rolling and rocking. And the one thing I always tell him is, I'm not going to put you in a house like the one you just talked about, because I would do that house because I have a ton of experience with that. Yeah. But someone new should absolutely stay away from it because you don't know how to estimate for your fix-ups. There's just way too many unknowns that could bite you in the butt. You know what I mean? And now you're holding a property that maybe you can't sell.
Yeah, that one was probably I would think it had to be completely gutted because there was nothing salvageable in there. There was mold. There was a big old hole in the roof, and it would definitely need to be somebody more experienced that has less or more wiggle room with the money because there's no deal for if you're using hard money in a situation like that.
Right. Yeah. Was the price a good price on that one? Or was
I was thinking, and I'll tell you the numbers because it's gone now, but we were thinking like $60,000 originally we could pay for it, and we were thinking that would have been decent if we could have sold it for like $250 because it would have had to been completely gutted. And the guy came in and he got $80,000 out of the guy and his hospital bills. So that would have taken it up to like at least it had to have been like at least $100,000. We were thinking with all that.
What would it sell for fixed up totally?
$250. I was thinking around $250, $230, $250. I'm real conservative because I don't want to take a chance that we don't make anything. We just work for nothing. Yeah. So that's why I was like, no, let's be conservative. I'll go low end of the range. And my rationale pricing though, and maybe, not everybody would agree with it, but I think price at the lower end, you may get a multiple offer situation because you're pricing at a value.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we haven't done much of that. Honestly, I push the market wherever I go. Tucson's kind of weird in how it's set up. There's like new, there's a ton of old, back to the 50s and 60s. And so what's happening is, and I'm sure it's there too, is these little pockets, everyone's going in and kind of flipping the whole area. Sometimes you're the first guy to go in a little area and kind of like start it. And so, which is tough because if you're pricing accordingly, you're probably not going to get, well, your appraisal is going to be a little bit weird, but we push the market everywhere we go. So we take our low end number and then we push to see what we think we could get for it. And that's where we start. And we just watch it very closely and, drop price every 7 to 10 days as needed until we get a bite or, you know what I mean? Just for me, I'd hate to have that and then I don't get a multiple offer. I'm like, can I have sold it for $5,000 more? Maybe. I don't know.
No, I mean, it's a risk like anything else, but you never know what you're going to get until, like we said, until you get a contract and it's sold and it appraises. So, and I want to say welcome to Valentine. He's an investor out of Texas that I just recently.
What's up, sir? He does flips out there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure what else he does. We talked about flips, and Jose has joined, and Joe has joined. So welcome. Please hit that like button, love button, and share the stream out so other people can get this information. Don't be selfish.
Get out there. Oh, cool.
And I want to ask you, what kind of advice would you give to a new investor who's just getting started?
In real estate, I honestly, I would make sure that's really what you want to do.
Yeah.
Before you start, because it's, and I won't rant here, but like HGTV, all that stuff has people into this business that really shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. And what's happening is you're just getting, the deals are starting to get skinnier and skinnier. These people are just screwing up and losing all kinds of money. The work that's being done is terrible. I looked at a house 2 weeks ago. This investor spent $80,000 and ran out of money. And you couldn't tell he spent $30,000 in this place. I mean, the work was just terrible. But he spent $80,000, and now he's trying to sell it to another investor because he screwed up. Mm-hmm. And I'm starting to hear that a lot and more. And so it just makes me believe that I think people get into it because they see a check and are romantic about the money, and it makes a bad decision. So I don't even know if that's really good advice, but really check if that's what you want to, if you have the capability, the resources, the grit to even do it, because you can lose a ton of money.
Yeah, and you have to have a risk tolerance. And I always say, do your research. Don't just jump into it and think, like you said, see a check, it's easy money. It is not easy money. Real estate, period, is not for the weak of heart. You have to be able to deal with stress and deadlines. And you have to be, for me, I personally feel like what I call a firefighter or a psychologist or a counselor, because when you're dealing with people in that amount of money, things get real intimate real quick. Real quick.
Oh, I agree. That's what I tell people. I'm a firefighter myself.
Mm-hmm. That's all I put on my business cards. Firefighter / psychologist.
I love that. That's good.
Valentine says, have a home before you flip, which is good advice. Yeah. And he also says, buy a crappy home and live in it and see the lessons it teaches you.
Yeah, that's true. I like that.
Yeah.
But I would say after, say if it is something that you want to do, then don't take your realtor's word at face value. Do your own stuff. Yes, believe, because what I'm finding is a lot of agents in the position of working with investors really care about that 3% and they lie.
But they also, unless you're doing investing, you don't know what is a good deal. And that's the only way, because I know I had a lot of investors come to me at first, and I was like, I don't know what's going to be a good deal for you.
Yeah.
You have to know how to calculate it yourself in order to find it. So you have to be either one, work with investors on a regular basis, or two, be an investor yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And or just be in that world, or work alongside with somebody who's done it. Mm-hmm. Find someone like me in your area that can maybe walk you through it or help you. I can't tell you how many people reach out to me, especially since I've been doing my Facebook Live stuff. Mm-hmm. I want to get into flipping. And
it looks sexy.
Right, really, it looks fun. And so, I would personally walk it through with a few people and show them exactly, let them come on my job sites and kind of, matter of fact, I've done that. Finding somebody like that. I don't know if you guys have Asria, where you
are. I'm a part of an investor group, which is how I met my hard money contact, which I have been terrible about going because it's so far away and it's on a Thursday night. But I really do like the contacts, at least that I've made.
Yeah.
I would definitely recommend an investment group.
I would go there. I would definitely do that. And just to get in the world, you know what I mean? And find some money, because the deals, that's the commodity these days. Everyone has $100,000. No one has the deals. And so, you know, make sure you have money before you go shopping, and call a realtor, and that way you have cash so you can act quickly. That's one of the ways we get properties is, you know, we offer cash, close in 2 weeks.
Yeah, that's a real appeal, because, you know, if you have to go through the loan process, it's not as appealing.
Signing all them papers is just, it's a nightmare. But yeah, hope that helped.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. I mean, and then Valentine says, "Thank you for your time, PJ." He says, "I know your time broke."
Oh man, right? I'll be glad when they go to 48-hour days.
Yeah, really.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you, sir.
Well, thank you so much. And if someone would like to get in contact with you, either for investing or anything, how can they reach out to you?
Facebook, yeah, you'll hit me on Facebook, through Messenger or whatever, and I'd be happy to talk to anyone. I love it, and I really enjoy, you know, doing this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Before I let you go, though, I have to tell you, you were an inspiration to me without even knowing it. So at the end of last year, I was just like, man, I got to do Facebook Live. I got to do it. I've just been like scared basically to do it. And then it was towards the end of last year when you started your show, right?
Yeah, we started in September.
Wind Down Wednesdays?
No, that's Shannon.
That's it. Yes. So
as a matter of fact, in about 15 minutes, we're about to do Girls Night Live.
Oh, Girls Night Live. That's what it is. Yeah. And I was like, oh, she's doing it. I got to do this. I got to do this.
And I want to tell you, I am an introvert. I was terrified. I didn't like video. I was trying to do a podcast because I didn't want to do video. And I was like, when I saw Shannon's Wind Down Wednesday, I was like, that's it. I'm doing video. I can do this. She
motivated you
anymore.
That's great. So she motivated you?
Her and Justin Lindsay, because he was doing coffee chat like every day. I'm like, I can do this. Why am I so scared to get on here? So literally, we use the wine to help us get more comfortable doing it.
I'll bet. Yeah. See, I wouldn't do that because I'd just probably start rambling.
People were like, the first one they were like, oh, you've had a few. I was like, we haven't had that many.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
No drinks, but you know, we don't even drink wine on the show anymore. But now it's like, I'm totally comfortable. I have more confidence. I feel like I could be a public speaker now.
You know what helped? Snapchat really helped me get comfortable with.
Oh yeah, it did. I wouldn't even do videos on Snapchat.
No.
I was just posting pics. And I was like, I'm really confident in this. But now, I mean, I've actually started talking to people because I'm doing a daily show, and I have a couple of people. Actually, I have a guy to reach out to tonight, and I need to find a realtor in Texas because he's looking for a realtor in Texas. So I need to talk to you, Valentine, because I know you work with a realtor at EXP Realty, actually. He said he also does property management and marketing sales. Oh,
Valentine does?
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that he has a YouTube channel, too.
Yeah, he does have. He said he has a YouTube channel.
That's the next step for us.
Yeah.
YouTube channel.
Well, I'll take all of our videos and I drop them to YouTube.
Oh, so you already have a YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How's that going?
In that library.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's good. I wouldn't say it's as good as Facebook because I'm starting to get more and more from Facebook. Mm-hmm. But I think, you know, the tags or the hashtags and all that stuff, it'll work out. I've learned how to use Instagram, that's for sure. And hashtags really get you stuff on Instagram. So
I built by several hundred in just a couple of months because you can use 30. So I went through and found the best 30 that resonate with what I do. And I have them in my notes. So every time I do a post, I just copy it, bring it over to Instagram. That way they're all there. And, I use 30 hashtags with every single post.
That's good. That's skill.
Well, I say, well, shoot, if you can use 30, I'm going to use all 30.
Right.
It's been crazy. Every time I post a picture, I probably gain 3 to 5 new followers.
It's crazy. It's like my phone starts blowing up. I'm like, wow, this is the best advice ever.
So the whole social media thing is, Krista, seriously, it is. I have the guy that I borrow some money from here in town. They do about 300 flips a year.
Oh, wow.
Here in town. And once I became a realtor, I mean, they're good buddies of mine. So I just kind of, through basketball, I know them. And I was like, man, you know, what are you guys doing? How do you get your, well, they're spending $30,000 a month on radio and TV. 30,000. I was like, oh my God.
They're making bank though. I mean, 300 flips a year. I want to be on that level. I want an empire.
Right, totally. So I was like, man, I can't compete with that, but I want to do the same thing you guys do. How am I gonna? Yeah. I said social media. You know, before they take that 30 grand and put it on Facebook and Instagram, I'm trying to build a platform in my area first. Yeah. You know what I mean? And so it's crazy. I show up to some of the same deals that they do. It truly is crazy. And I spend $0. Yeah. They spend 30,000. I spend 0. And I'm as busy as I can. You know, I'm growing, and social media is it's just awesome. I can't say enough about it.
Well, like I said, I met you on Snapchat, and I met Shannon, I met Neil, Bucky, all the people, a lot of these people that I follow, and I've grown my Facebook because of all of these connections that I've made. I mean, I went from I had 400 friends for forever. Yeah. And I'm now up to almost 1,900 in the last couple of weeks.
No way.
I'm not sitting there requesting people. I'm getting the requests in. So I was like, wow.
That's awesome. Yeah. I wonder how that works with Facebook. Because I've been getting more requests in too. The more I do stuff like this.
I think it's the more that you do, the more you show up. And of course, mutual friends. And then you start showing up. Yeah. But you got to weed out them crazy people. I had some weirdo the other day tell me, I'll post on my page, he was a single man and he wanted to take care of me. I'm like, delete.
Yeah, I will say I couldn't stand being a woman on social media. You guys must have it super rough. I just can't even.
You get all these hello beautifuls. I'm like, no, that's not what I'm here for. I mean, it's thank you, but
right.
Let's keep it professional.
Yeah. They don't. Guys have a hard time doing that.
Yeah.
They do.
They sure do. Yeah. Well, again, thank you for your time. I've had a great time talking with you and picking your brain. I really appreciate you being so generous with your knowledge and time.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to have you on my show in the next couple of weeks, too.
That would be awesome.
A favor.
Yeah, thank you. And one day I'm gonna get out to Arizona because I want to meet you and on your team.
Oh, yeah, come on out. It's beautiful.
Oh, I know. I would love to live in a place that's hot year round. I hate this weather. I'm from here and I hate it.
I couldn't do it. No way. I couldn't live anywhere but here, maybe Denver.
I'll take the 9,000 degrees. It's fine with me.
Well, so how many are you? Are you going to have a great year? Or is this going to be your best year ever, you think?
My best year ever so far. Every year I expect to double.
Right.
I want to own apartment buildings. I got big goals.
How long have you been a realtor?
I've been this time, and I say this time because originally I had my license in 2005. And then I got it again in 2013. So I went full-time last year.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Nice. So it's really been it's grown.
Yeah.
Really grown.
How many deals did you do last year?
I did I had 42 transactions, but they were not all sales. I work with a property manager, so I get a ton of rental leads.
Oh, okay. I was like, yeah, that's a great year.
No, I can't even try and pretend. I had 6 sales last year, which I thought was good because obviously it's just grown. But I had 42 transactions. I'm not complaining.
No, heck no.
I'm a professional with the rentals. Don't try to tell me I've never heard of that before. I'm like, no. I've done too many rentals. Don't tell me what the average is. I know.
I hate rentals. We're currently selling all of our stuff now because I'm a terrible property manager. But well, that's awesome. So double that this year, right? 12.
Yeah. I want to more than double it. My goal is 30 this year. 30 sales. I mean, I really want to do it.
That's
And
cool.
I don't care what mix it is. If I got some flips in there, I want to make the money. I'm really focused. And with all that I've grown, like spiritually and education wise, I feel I know what to do.
Totally. Yeah. Now it's just doing it, right? Well, you are doing it.
Yeah.
I consider this work, you know?
Yeah, this is definitely work. I mean, it's fun, but it's still work.
Yeah, it is. That's awesome. Well, cool. My goal is to buy or sell a house a week this year.
That's
so
awesome.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We're on track so far.
Well, we'll be in touch because we're always chatting. So
yeah, definitely. Cool.
But thanks again for joining. And if you can, girls' night's coming on in about, say, 10 minutes.
You got any energy left?
Yeah, I know. I've been going like nonstop. I ran to the gym, dropped my daughter off, ran to the gym, ran home. Pardon my hair. It's kind of a mess, but this is my this is like me just fixing it up a little bit because I'm a mess. I haven't even showered. I haven't showered. I haven't eaten. So it's a good thing nobody can smell what's going on here because I'm probably stinky.
It's a busy life, and you got kids to raise too. So.
Yeah. And she's like 3 people in one. That's what I say. She's got a lot of personality.
Yeah, she's awesome.
Thank you.
Cool. Well, thanks again, and we'll be in touch. We'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thank you. See you later.
All right, take it easy.
You too.
I don't know how to get off this, so I just hit stop.
I think you can just disconnect your camera.
Okay.